This is part 2 of language learning tips that are totally going to change your learning journey. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check that out because that's like a prerequisite to everything else. And just for context, I know these because I've been doing research for an app that I'm building called Fluenci, which is like an AI language partner. If you're intrigued, stick around till the end and I'll tell you more about it. But for now, tip number 2 is about fossilized errors. It's a fancy term, but if you've ever tried learning a new language, or even if English is your second language and you learned it after growing up, you're gonna know what I mean in just a second. All of these sentences, and I've pulled this example from a research paper, I'll reference it somewhere on the screen, but all of these sentences are grammatically wrong, yet they're perfectly understandable. And because they're understandable, people probably aren't going to correct you if you go ahead and say them. Like, if you say something completely incomprehensible, then people are going to have to stop you and ask for clarification to understand what you mean. And at that point, you would have realized that you've made a mistake and you need to communicate more effectively. With errors like these, people probably aren't going to feel the need to point it out, and you're going to continue saying them, not realizing that they're wrong, and it's going to become a habit. And that's what fossilized errors are. Fossilized literally means archaic and incapable of change. And that's a bit extreme. You can change those habits if you try really hard, but it's better not to let them form in the first place. And this one's kind of hard to work on because where do you get the kind of feedback where somebody's going to tell you exactly what you're doing wrong in every single sentence that you speak? Like, you probably don't want to put another person through that. But good for you guys, I'm building Fluenci App, which is an AI language partner, as I mentioned before, and it's basically an app where you can have conversations with an AI bot instead of an actual person. You can talk to them in real life scenarios, like you can set the context and everything for every conversation that you have if you want to, or you can just wing it. But while you're talking to it and while it's responding and having a conversation, basically, the app also gives you real-time feedback on everything that you say, and it points out all of your mistakes. So this way you know exactly what you need to work on fixing, and if you start early enough, you can probably even prevent a lot of these fossilized errors from forming. The app is waitlist only right now, so if you're learning a new language, make sure you go sign up and follow me for more language learning tips.